Hi. So it's Friday. My room studio is back to its normal messy self. Big piles of clothes and piles of lists and poems and notes and paper mache bowls and ripped up paper and yeah, general stuff. And what I've been doing is yesterday evening, when I finished work in the evening, or it's actually quite late at night, I continued ripping up some paper that I'd started about the night before. I personally find it's so therapeutic just to sit with a bowl and tear paper. And so last night I set it up with the old bit of, I always save a bit of the last batch and put it in the freezer. So I added a bit of that, which was kind of beetroot and some kind of a few words, and a pomegranate, and put some water on and left it to soak, and then I put a bit more water on it today. So I'm experimenting with just mushing it in a plastic bowl over a bit of time rather than mashing it. Maybe give my shoulder a break from mashing. And I made two previous paper mache bowls since the batch of smaller ones, which is the first batch. So yeah, I made a really big one on a gym ball called This Contains Everything, which is true both actually and metaphorically. And then the next one I made on a beach ball, and it's called After That. No, After This, Then What? I'll just show you that one because it's right by me. It's sitting on my altar waiting to be bathed in the light of the full moon, as that each batch is. And the same for the ones I made last year. And I've completed a second painting. So I did the Tracey Emin one, then I did another one, which is a kind of collage, sort of loosely based on having a big skirt, but it's very like abstracted. Maybe I'll show that to you next time because it's drying at the moment. And then today I started work on a new one, which is just like layers of gesso first of all, because it was on a secondhand canvas, and then yellow, and experimenting with trying to mix a cooler yellow and a warmer yellow, because I've been reading about colour theory and just in my own small way trying to experiment and adding words, loads and loads of ripped up words, and then I'm leaving it to dry. I'm going to do another lot. So I did that this morning, and it's going to be called something like How Do You Process Your Complicated Feelings, or This Is Me Processing Some Complicated Feelings. What's happened lately is so I do my omens for the year, and the omen for May was a row of traffic ahead of me in ambulance, like the spiritual emergency or the spiritual emergence. Then the Pollyanna. So these are like phases that I've been through. Then the Pollyanna, Mary Poppins. Oh, be happy all the time. And then where I am now. And then behind me, a massive, massive long queue. So behind me, just loads of other levels or layers or things that I have to deal with. And I thought, okay, so there's this feeling that, okay, I'm ready to leave that phase, but leaving one phase means you're going to come up to another one. And ever since then, yeah, there's just been a lot happen. Like I had quite a challenge at work, things that I found quite challenging. It's always to do with staff, never to do with the people that we look after. And my husband had been exploring making some things out of clay, and he said, "Oh, I've left you an emissary on your windowsill." So he said, "Nothing bad will happen to you, and this will be to protect you." And so there's that. And I thought that's nice, really, really nice. And I can add it to the painting My Love Is In and Around You, which he made for me, so which I put on the wall to protect me from work. So yeah, but it's like, and then John, my husband, he says, well, if you want to be doing this work, if you are doing this work, if you want to be this person, you want to be this. I'm not saying I go around saying this, by the way, but he said, you're into all the witch stuff, and you're into your power. This is something that not only can you deal with, but it's something like to deal with on the road of personal growth. And so these new things that I haven't actually had happened to me before, it's like, well, what do I do with that? And then there was like another thing as well, and that's what I've been trying to process this morning with my painting. It's kind of yellow like the wall, and and it's like, yeah, that's personal growth, isn't it, to do something that you haven't done before. And I really usually consciously avoid doing new things. That's not entirely true, but I like to decide on my new things. I'm quite, I'm really into like my experimenting with art and painting and learning stuff, but that's just quietly, in my own way. I would quite like to maybe have some lessons or something at some point, or a tutorial, but I'm not usually, I don't really like learning new board games and stuff like that. It has to be something I really want to do. So maybe that's just everybody. But also I'm quite, when you're a kid, everything's new, isn't it? As an adult, you get used to just doing the things that you're good at, and then to be faced with something new. So these things have been a challenge. They've been like a challenge to my confidence, and a challenge to, well, what do I do? Do I just run away and I have all these uncomfortable feelings? Do I just sit with them? And it's easy for me to do that, really, because I have spent a lot of time feeling uncomfortable. So it feels kind of normal. But then when you do deal with things a little bit, you do feel a little bit better. And my husband said, oh, do you feel a bit better? And I'm not really sure, because it can take me a little while to catch up. But then I noticed, well, yeah, I don't have that horrible feeling so much. And yeah, well, that's it then. He said, yeah, that's why you do it. That's why you do it, to literally feel better. So I was thinking of painting today, because if you have any issues, it's always, one's own issues, isn't it? It's me. What is it about me? What do I want to do? And I came to the conclusion a minute ago that one of the things I want to do is I kind of want to, I don't know, what's the word? Get rid of, I suppose. Can you get rid of it? But let it go to the back and let other bits come to the fore. But get rid of that bit of my personality that is, where I suddenly think that everybody's doing something to me. Feel like at work, the facts are that it was just someone being clumsy, that to feel, like almost persecuted or whatever. And that when people are a certain way, and you have some feelings, they're your feelings. And I think sometimes we come up with people a bit different to yourself, and then makes you come up against your edges and makes you feel a bit wobbly. But the answer it's nothing to do with them. It's to do with, I think, strengthening kind of my own centre. And it's like, who am I? What do I want to do, be, project, talk about, appear even, I suppose, or present into the world? What is it? Who is it that I want to be? And am I happy with everything that I'm doing and how I am? And then if I am, then why this? It's almost like a residue or an echo of past lack of kind of self-confidence or having a strong centre, and that's kind of remained as some sort of hangover from that, really. This is, I don't know if this is a very good metaphor or not, but or kind of illustration of it, but I was thinking about how, when you give up drinking or you give up drugs, the advice is from the the advice everyone is given, and that's what I give to people as well, is you might well have to stop seeing all those friends and go and just have a completely new set of friends. And that then if you do go out and somebody's drinking and you're not drinking, it can trigger some feelings, but it's not them, it's kind of about you. So it's strengthening oneself, and just noticing, where those things come up against each other. So yeah, I'm just working it out, I guess. And today I've been working out my feelings a bit with ripped up paper, ripped up paper, paint, experimenting with new things. And then I realised I was really stiff, so I went out for a walk in the sun, and it's just so sunny and wonderful. And then I'm late really, but I just really wanted to get this down because it's my commitment to doing it on a Friday and to try and catch those insights and work out as I go. So then I'm going to go to a cycle class and then do I like circuits again. And then I've got to get on a bus and go and collect my car from a nearby town. And then I can just come back home and relax, maybe mash some paper. So onwards and upwards, and we just keep on this journey of personal growth, I guess, even if we're not quite sure what we're actually doing. Okay, take care. See you next time.